Hey guys, I have an amazing video for you today. I have a ginormous book haul. It's probably around 40 plus books. So I did some book shopping for my birthday last week, and then I also had a library sale nearby me and I went crazy. So let's get into this book haul, and I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for stopping by again. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So let's get started. So I didn't have this TBR cart before, and I figured it would be the best thing for me because I had so much on my shelf that I hadn't read yet, and I want to see it kind of separated from everything else. And also it gives me more of an excuse once this goes low that I can replenish it with more books. But let's get started. So I think the best thing to do is to do a haul for the books I got at the library sale. So the library that I went to, you get a tote bag and you pay $7 and you can fill up as many books as you want. And so I filled it up with 18 books, which is a lot. It was heavy, but I made it. So I'm gonna start with those first and then do my birthday book haul that I did as well. I got The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. I have heard great things about this movie. I haven't seen the movie yet. I think Miley Cyrus is in it, if I'm not mistaken. But I have always been curious about Nicholas Sparks books just because one of my favorite movies is The Notebook, A Walk to Remember. Like, a lot of the book or the movies are so amazing. So I figured why not? And it's a lot thicker than I imagined, but I saw a few of these books in the sale. Like, there were maybe like 20 different options, or not even 20, I'm over exaggerating, but there were a lot of options for his books, and so I figured why not? And then it's actually something that maybe I would like more of, like older romance versus contemporary, because contemporary romance I have such a hard time with. So hopefully this will be something that I enjoy. I then got Waitlist by Sarah Bannon. I have not seen this talk about online, and I looked it up a little bit on Goodreads, and there's not a lot of people that have rated this yet. It seems like it's a coming of age story set in a high school, so it's a high school age coming of age story, and it seems like it's a lot of drama, like within a high school. It seemed interesting enough. I do like coming of age stories, so I'm gonna see what this one is about. And it's very short, which I love. And I also saw, when I was going through this in the library, I saw that they had like little snippets of like text messages, and like I think I saw like Facebook pages. I'm not sure. Yeah, Facebook pages. And so I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I like it when there's multiple media narratives in books. I then picked up Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt, and I've seen this everywhere, so I'm excited to dive into this memoir. I don't know much about the backstory, and there's not really like a blurb on the back of here. It's a lot of, I guess, little reviews about the book. So I'm looking forward to this. I think there's like multiple memoirs within this. I only plan on getting to this one. We'll see if I want to continue on with the memoir series. I then have The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. So I kind of get, what's that? The Woman on the Train vibes. So it's like a thriller. I wonder if it's like a psychological thriller similar to The Girl on the Train, but I guess it's like a next door neighbor just kind of like watches her neighbors kind of weird like, and just kind of sees something happen next door, and it goes from there. So really excited. It seems like it's a major motion picture, which I was not aware of, so I'll have to catch the movie afterward. I've heard a lot of amazing things about this author. So I have My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. I think that her writing is just very, from what I've heard, it's just very captivating and very moving. And so I love that. And I'm hoping to get a really good story out of this. Basically, there's two sisters, and one is just like terminally ill. And so she relies on her sister a lot for help to basically stay alive. So that sounds super interesting, and I hope that I don't need so many tissues, but I just finished The Women yesterday by Kristen Hanna, so I'm just all cried out, like I'm devastated. So I don't know, this sounds like such a devastating read probably. I then have Paper Towns by John Green. I love The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and so I figured why not see if his other books or another book would live up to that feeling that I got inside while reading that book. I know that from Goodreads, it doesn't seem like this book is rated that highly, so I'm interested to see where I lie in this one. So I personally love a good mystery, and I saw this cover and it looks so interesting. So it's No Strangers Here by Carleen O'Connor. Yes, Carleen O'Connor. And it's a trilogy, and I just love a good mystery. And it's not something that I read too often because I'm mostly intertwined in so many series, like mostly fantasy. So to get this probably in between like a palate cleanser would be so great for me, I think. And so I'm excited to get into this. I'm hoping this year I really want to get into some more mystery because I do love a good mystery. Another memoir that I've heard great things about is The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls, sorry. I just love a good memoir, and this one's so short, so I figured why not. I have no idea what this is about, so I'm gonna go into it blind. And it's rated really highly on Goodreads as well. I then got Glory Road by Lauren K. Denton, and it's just about this small town in Alabama and just like the ins and outs of everything going on there. It follows a woman who's a single mom and just kind of like her store that she opened up next door to her home and just meeting people in town. I think it involves a little bit of a romance as well. So I did not hear about this ever, but I like the cover. It's so beautiful. I love when covers just have the most beautiful scenery. So I'm excited. This book has been talked about everywhere. It's Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. Now, I know that people absolutely love this, and it's heart-wrenching for a lot of people. I don't know what it involves. I think from what I've heard, it's just like Archer, he's gone through so much in his life, and it's a little bit of a love story. I think it's a love story, if I'm not mistaken. But I guess I just want to continue to be obliterated emotionally, so why not? I then have Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. I feel like I've heard about Rachel Hawkins before. Just the name sounded so familiar, but I don't think I've read anything by this author from what I see in the beginning of the book. Like, because you know how they have a section that's like also by Rachel Hawkins, and none of the books sound familiar to me. Maybe The Wife Upstairs, but I just love the cover, so I picked it up based on that. I haven't really looked into it that much. I then have Middlesex by Jeffrey, Eugenides. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names sometimes. But I have seen this in like really like lists that have like best books ever. And so I figured why not? I saw this and it was a great copy. Like, it looked pretty good. I think this is like a historical fiction book based on a family coming from Greece to the United States, specifically like Detroit area, and like going through everything happening in the 60s with race riots and all that. So it seemed right up my alley. I love a good historical fiction, so I'm excited for this one. I have The Good Girl by Marisabookishtings. Now, this also seems right up my alley. It's one of those books, it's a thriller where the girl, the main protagonist, she gets kidnapped. It sounds like she's kidnapped based on the blurb on the back. And she's kidnapped by someone who seems to be stalking her. That is the vibe I got, which I love those kind of books. Not in real life, let's be clear, but in fictional worlds, I always find that quite interesting to read about. The next one is The Girl He Used to Know by Tracy Garvis Graves. Now, I have read A Second Chance Romance and I did not really enjoy it, so I'm hoping that this second chance will be a good chance for me. I want to believe in the story so much, the last Second Chance Romance that I read. So I'm hoping that this brings that, you know, the pining and the emotional turmoil, like going through what broke them apart and figuring out the best way forward. I don't know. I just want a really good second chance romance read, and I hope this is what that is. Now, I have not seen this movie or read this book. I have Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, and I have always been interested in this book for many years. I've always seen it all over Goodreads and even in bookstores previously, but I never picked it up. So why not do this one? I do love when there's like a movie to watch, just because I like to see it on the screen as well. So I'm excited for this one. I then have The Best of Me by Nicholas Sparks. I had not heard about this one, but since this cover was so cute, I had to pick it up. A lot of Nicholas Sparks books, I mean, like, they look the same with this like square and the name of the book, and I don't know, they all look the same to me. So to see something a little bit different, I was like, okay, let's get this one. Next, I got The Woman Outside My Door by Rachel Ryan. Now this is very similar to The Woman in the Window. I feel like we're having similar titles here, so hopefully I don't get confused. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be as thrilling as all of the others. So I'm excited for a good thriller. And this one's super short, so I love that. And then this next book, I haven't read a book by this author. So I have Never Lie by Frida McFadden. A lot of people say that this book is amazing. So I need to get on this. I have a little bit of an idea of what it's about. I think there's like this couple that's trying to look for a home or something like that, and they discover tapes of the former owners, and I think they were like therapists or something like that. And that's all I really know, but I really want to see if I like Frida's books at all. The next set of books are the books that I got for my birthday. So my boyfriend bought me 11 books at Barnes & Noble this past weekend. And then I also got some book mail from one of my friends, Lindsay. She and I have been friends on Book Talk for a bit now. And so we actually have become really good friends, and I really appreciate that she thought of me on my birthday. And this set, she got me a set, so let me get this out. Oh my goodness. I have been wanting to read this series for such a long time. So it's the, oh my goodness, I'm dropping everything. Let's situate this a little bit. So I have the, because I have one that I'm reading now. I have A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin, how everyone knows it about like the Game of Thrones series. I'm currently reading book 1, so A Game of Thrones, and I love these covers. I'm just obsessed. That's why I had it on my wish list, because I like these way more than the other covers that they have. And then I also like that they're mass market paperbacks, because they're such ginormous books that I want to be able to like have it in my hand easily and to go through it, and not have like a chunky, heavy book to read through. I'm taking these slow though. I just started a few days ago, and I'm like maybe 25 pages in, but I'm gonna be doing a slow read of this. Every day, my goal is to read one chapter, and I'm gonna be taking notes because for me, epic fantasy gets very confusing. And I feel like I need to know the world a little bit more, like the maps, and look at the characters a little bit more, family dynamics. I did watch the Game of Thrones series, so I want to see like if there are any differences or if things, major plot points especially, were left out or changed. So I am enjoying this read so far, and I'm so excited. So that is the Game of Thrones. I showed you that cover. Let me pull them out so you can see the different covers. So this is A Clash of Kings. Have A Storm of Swords, A Feast for Crows, and lastly, A Dance with Dragons. There's a Game of Thrones a little bit closer to the screen. So that is from Lindsay. I love it. I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Lindsay. I know you're probably gonna be watching this video. So the rest are the ones that my boyfriend got me, and I'm very excited. So first we have The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and Lindsay has talked a great deal about this one too, how much she loved it. And so I was like, and we talked about it the day before I went to Barnes, and so I was like, it was on the top of my head, so I was like, of course I gotta get it. I wanted to get a mixture of genres, so I'm excited for this one. And then I wanted to get into my cowboy romance era. So I got Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I've heard great things about this series, and I feel like maybe I need a good cowboy in my life, so I got this one. And then I've heard great things about this series. I got The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and everyone talks about how great this YA series is, just because, I mean, if you like, I think like these kids are really good at their craft, and they are kind of like recruited by the FBI to assist in cases. That sounds very interesting to me, and so I'm really excited to read this. I then wanted to pick up a random thriller, like something I never heard of or never seen. So I picked up The Invited by Jennifer McMahon. So I do not know anything about it. I want to go in blind, but this looks so cool. Like, I love that cover. Next, I got Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and I've heard great things about this sci-fi novel, and I haven't really read too much sci-fi. I mean, I love Project Hail Mary. It was one of my favorite books of all time last year. And then I read Ender's Game last year, and I've in the past read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. So I have a little bit of sci-fi under my belt, but I wanted to branch out and try other books as well, so I'll be trying this one. I then have Quicksilver by Kelly Hart, and everyone was talking about this for a while, and I am all about getting on board the hype, and so I am happy that I got my hands on this. I think it's going to be a series, but I haven't seen the cover for book 2, so I'm excited. I tend to wait a little bit for the hype to die down, and then I end up getting the book. So I really am looking forward to this. I did not know that it was this chunky, but I'm all about it, so I'm there. I then wanted to get into the Cosmere, Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere. And so I got Mistborn. I have been researching like the best way to go about the Cosmere and the reading order and all that, and it's been a journey. So many people recommend going in publication order. I think Brandon Sanderson has his own order that he's made a whole video about it, but I wanted to kind of jump in but not get too overwhelmed, and I heard that the Mistborn era 1 is like pretty digestible and easier to jump into Brandon Sanderson's work, so I figured why not start here. And I love the cover, like these covers are so cool, and the floppiness of this book is just amazing. So I'm excited for this. All right, so since it's Black History Month, I wanted to buy more Black authors as well. I got Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. People love this book, and I think it's a second chance romance as well. So I'm all about trying to get books that are up my alley that I think I will love. And so I'm excited for this. I know it's a series, and I just want to be destroyed emotionally, so we'll see how this goes. So before I got big into reading, I was such a big fan of crime podcasts, and one of my favorite crime podcasts is The Crime Junkie, and so I had to get her book, All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. And I remember her announcing this book when I used to be big on the podcast. I don't listen to it much anymore, but I need to get back into it. And so I remember her announcing it, and I was like, oh my God, that sounds so fun. I should read it. So I finally got my hands on it, and I am excited to get started with this one. Continuing on with Black authors, I got The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. And I know this is a multi-book series. I don't know how many, but I know it is a series. And so I'm all about fantasy series. Give me all the fantasy. So I'm excited for this one. It's quite chunky as well, but it looks like the font is huge, which I love when they do that. So I'm excited for this. And the last book in my haul, I have The Awakening. It's part of the Zodiac Academy. It's book 1. I also want to get into the Zodiac Academy universe. I don't remember what it's called, Solaria or something like that. So I want to start with book 1. I think there's a whole reading order, and so I also looked up a reading order for this series. I am excited. I'm excited. I have one of my friends, she's reading this whole series, and she seems to be enjoying herself. I mean, I didn't want to ask anything to get it spoiled, but she is, I think, in like book 8 or 9 or something like that. So I'm excited for that. That's my giant book haul. I don't even know how many that was. Let me count. Let me do a quick count. Did I count this twice? I gotta do it again. I gotta do it. Remind me. I counted these, okay? I counted these. So we can't get confused, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Counted those. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. I got 34 books in this haul, so that is a lot. I have a lot of reading to do, so let me go and get that reading started. But thank you so much for sticking around this video. I really appreciate you, and I hope you like and subscribe this video for more content. And I can't wait to show you my reading wrap up for February coming up. I am excited because I had one of the best months I've had since I started reading again. I'm not even kidding. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.